Have you ever wondered if the vitamins you're taking every day to stay healthy might actually be putting you at risk?
Hi, and welcome back to Senior Health 365, your go-to channel for staying vibrant, sharp, and healthy as you embrace your golden years. Today, I'm diving into something that shocked me when I first learned about it as a neurologist. There's a common vitamin that, when taken in excess, could increase your stroke risk practically overnight. If you're over 60, this is something you need to hear, because protecting your brain and body is more important than ever. Now, I know what you're thinking. Vitamins are supposed to be good for us, right? We've all been told to pop a multivitamin or boost our intake to stay energized and strong. But here's the thing. Not all vitamins are created equal, and for us seniors, getting the balance right is critical. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I've learned about this surprising vitamin risk, why it matters for your brain health, and simple steps you can take to protect yourself. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll feel empowered to make smarter choices for your health. Let's start with the vitamin that's raising red flags, vitamin E now. Don't get me wrong, vitamin E is a powerhouse when it comes to protecting your cells from damage. It's found in foods like almonds, spinach, and avocados, and it's fantastic for your skin and immune system. But here's where it gets tricky. Some studies, including ones I've reviewed in my practice, have shown that taking high doses of vitamin E supplements, way more than you'd get from food, can actually increase your risk of stroke, particularly a type called hemorrhagic stroke. That's the kind where there's bleeding in the brain, and it's serious. I remember talking to a patient, let's call her Susan, a vibrant 68-year-old who loved her daily walks and crossword puzzles. She was taking the high-dose vitamin E supplement because she'd read it was great for her heart and brain. But when we looked at her routine, I realized she was getting way more than her body needed, and it was putting her at risk. Why does this happen? Well, vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it sticks around in your body longer than water-soluble ones like vitamin C. In high doses, it can thin your blood too much, kind of like taking too much aspirin. That blood-thinning effect can make it easier for a blood vessel in your brain to rupture, especially if you already have high blood pressure or other risk factors. And here's the kicker. Many seniors don't even realize they're overdoing it because vitamin E is in so many supplements, multivitamins, heart health blends, even some beauty formulas. I had another patient, John, a 72-year-old retired teacher, who was taking 3 different supplements, all with vitamin E, and he had no idea he was stacking up to dangerous levels. So what's the first step to protect yourself? Check your supplements. Grab that bottle from your medicine cabinet and look at the label. The recommended daily amount for vitamin E is about 15 milligrams for adults, which is roughly 22 IU of natural vitamin E or 33 IU of synthetic. If your supplement has 400 IU or more per dose, that's a red flag. Susan, my patient, was taking 800 IU a day, way too much. I told her to switch to a lower dose multivitamin and focus on getting vitamin E from foods like nuts and leafy greens instead. It's a simple change, but it can make a big difference. Another key step is to talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you're on medications like blood thinners or have a history of stroke or heart issues. I can't stress this enough. Your doctor knows your health history and can help you avoid risky combinations. For example, I worked with a patient, Margaret, who was 65 and loved her active lifestyle, yoga, gardening, you name it. She was taking vitamin E supplements alongside her blood pressure meds, and she didn't realize the combo could be trouble. We adjusted her routine, and she felt so much more confident knowing she was keeping her brain safe. Let's keep this conversation going, because there's more you need to know about balancing vitamins and protecting your brain health as a senior. We're going to dive into some other surprising risks and practical tips to stay sharp and healthy. Here's part 2 of the YouTube video script for Senior Health 365 on the topic. As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This vitamin raises stroke risk overnight. Senior health. Following your instructions for a warm, engaging, and conversational tone targeting seniors aged 60 and above. We've already talked about how too much vitamin E can raise your stroke risk, and I shared some simple steps to check your supplements and talk to your doctor. Now let's dive into a few more things you need to know to protect yourself and feel confident about your health choices. I want you to walk away from this video knowing exactly what to do to stay vibrant and sharp. One thing I see a lot in my practice is that seniors often think more is better when it comes to vitamins. I get it. It's tempting to load up on supplements to feel your best, especially when you hear about all the amazing benefits. But here's something else that surprised me. It's not just vitamin E you need to watch out for. Other supplements like high doses of vitamin A or even certain herbal blends can also mess with your blood vessels or interact with medications in ways that aren't good for your brain. Take vitamin A, for example. It's great for your eyes and immune system, but too much, especially from supplements, can increase your risk of bleeding or even weaken your bones over time. I had a patient, Bob, a 70-year-old, who loved fishing and spending time with his grandkids. He was taking a high-potency multivitamin plus an extra vitamin A supplement because he thought it would help his vision. But when we checked his levels, they were way too high, and it was stressing his body in ways he didn't expect. We switched him to a balanced multivitamin and focused on foods like carrots and sweet potatoes, which give you vitamin A naturally without the overload. So, here's your next actionable step. Diversify your nutrient sources instead of relying on pills. Try to get your vitamins from whole foods whenever possible. For example, instead of popping extra vitamin E or A supplements, enjoy a handful of almonds or a colorful salad with spinach, peppers, and a drizzle of olive oil. These foods give you the nutrients your brain loves without the risk of overdoing it. Plus, they're delicious. I remember chatting with a patient, Linda, who was 66 and loved cooking for her family. She started adding more nutrient-rich foods to her meals like avocado toast for breakfast or a smoothie with kale and berries, and she told me she felt more energized than she had in years. It's such a simple shift, but it's like giving your brain a big, healthy hug. Another key point is to be cautious about miracle supplements marketed for brain health. You've probably seen those ads promising sharper memory or better focus with a single pill. As a brain doctor, I can tell you most of these claims aren't backed by solid science, and some can even be risky. For instance, supplements like ginkgo biloba, which is often sold for memory, can increase bleeding risk, especially if you're on medications like warfarin or aspirin. I worked with a patient, Frank, a 69-year-old retired mechanic who was taking ginkgo because he was worried about forgetting things. But he was also on a blood thinner, and the combination was a recipe for trouble. We talked about safer ways to support his memory, like staying active and doing puzzles, and he ditched the ginkgo. He told me later he felt less stressed about his health and more in control. Here's a practical tip you can start today. Make a list of every supplement and medication you're taking and share it with your doctor or pharmacist. They can spot potential interactions and help you streamline your routine. It's like cleaning out your pantry. You keep what nourishes you and toss what doesn't. When I did this with my patient Maria, a 71-year-old who loved her book club, we found she was taking 2 supplements with overlapping ingredients. Simplifying her routine not only saved her money, but also gave her peace of mind. Let's keep this momentum going because there's more to share about protecting your brain and making choices that help you thrive. Stay with me as we wrap up with some final tips and a big dose of encouragement to keep you feeling your best. Asterisk. Here's part 3 of the YouTube video script for Asterisk Senior Health 365 on the topic. As a brain doctor, I'm shocked. This vitamin raises stroke risk overnight. Senior health. following your instructions for a warm, engaging, and conversational tone targeting seniors aged 60 and above. We're in the home stretch now, and I'm so glad you're still with me as we talk about keeping your brain healthy and steering clear of hidden risks like overdoing certain vitamins. We've covered how too much vitamin E and other supplements can increase your stroke risk, and I've shared practical steps like checking your supplement labels, focusing on whole foods, and talking to your doctor about your medications. Now let's wrap up with a couple more ways to protect your brain and a big dose of encouragement to help you feel empowered to live your best life. One thing I want you to know is that brain health isn't just about avoiding risks, it's also about building habits that keep your mind sharp and your body strong. One of the best things you can do is stay active, both physically and mentally. Exercise doesn't have to mean running a marathon. Even a daily walk around your neighborhood or a gentle chair yoga session can boost blood flow to your brain and lower your stroke risk. I had a patient, Clara, a 74-year-old who loved gardening. She wasn't big on exercise, but she started taking short walks to her community garden, and she noticed she felt more alert and slept better. Pair that with mental exercises like reading, playing cards, or even learning a new hobby, maybe knitting or painting, and you're giving your brain a workout that keeps it resilient. Clara told me she started doing crossword puzzles with her coffee each morning, and she swears it's made her memory sharper. Another key step is to prioritize a heart-healthy diet, because what's good for your heart is great for your brain. Foods rich in omega-3 south, like salmon or walnuts, and antioxidants, like berries or dark chocolate, help protect your blood vessels and reduce inflammation. I remember working with a patient, George, a 67-year-old, who loved his steak and potatoes. He was skeptical about changing his diet, but he started adding a small side salad with olive oil and a piece of fish once a week. Over time, he felt more energized and even lost a few pounds, which helped his blood pressure, a big win for stroke prevention. Small changes like these add up, and they're easier than you think when you find foods you love. Now, let's tie this all together. You don't need to overhaul your life to protect your brain. Start by taking a look at your supplements. Make sure you're not overdoing vitamins like E or A. Get most of your nutrients from colorful, whole foods like fruits, veggies, and nuts. Keep moving, whether it's a walk, a dance class, or just stretching at home. And always check in with your doctor to make sure your medications and supplements are working together safely. These steps are like building a strong foundation for a house. They keep you steady and ready to enjoy all the moments that matter, like playing with your grandkids, traveling, or just savoring a quiet morning with a good book. I hope this has inspired you to take charge of your health with confidence. You've got this. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. Drop a comment with your thoughts or questions. I love hearing from you, and hit that subscribe button to join our Senior Health 365 community. We're here to help you thrive in your golden years. Keep shining, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video with more tips to live your healthiest, happiest life.